Hello, hello, and welcome to The Vampire Detective and the Case of the Lying Maid. This was made from the same creator as Shark Song, I think, and I don't know what else. I'm assuming all you need to know is in the title, right? I definitely looked this up. I definitely did, and then I forgot all about it. So yeah, let's have this start. I should have known it was a trap. Bookshelves line the wall of the small study. From top to bottom, they're filled with mystery novels in different languages. Outside is a bright and sunny day, but here, heavy curtains cover the windows, leaving a sliver of light through. It feels like twilight, despite whatever the actual time might be. Well, I've asked you a question. She's tracing the rim of her teacup with her fingers. In the dimly lit room, she looks fitting, adding to the mysterious atmosphere with her otherworldly looks and inscrutable smile. Ooh, she's pretty. You know, not gonna lie, she also very... I'm not a big Pokemon person, but she very low-key reminds me of Cynthia, and I think it's literally just because of the hair and her clothes. Her eyes catch the light of this lamp and almost look like they're glowing, because she's a vampire. I stifle the urge to look down and break eye contact. I need more time to think. An excuse, anything will do. I remember I left the stove on. It doesn't matter. I have to go to the bathroom. Answer the question first. She's really grilling me. I should have noticed the clues. First, she sees me searching for something. Then, she suddenly invites me for tea. She's drumming her fingers on the cover of the book on the desk before her. It's a medium-sized scrapbook, the kind used for pictures and postcards, that sort of thing. The cover is discolored, one corner is bent, and the spine is creased. There's no title or any sort of writing on it, but I know it very well. I'll repeat again. This old scrapbook that I found lying around the living room. Is it yours? A straightforward question. The answer would depend on whether she's looked inside. If I lie and say it's not mine, she'll certainly open it up. If I admit it's mine and she sees what's in it, there's only one possibility of escape. Yes, it is mine. Please give it back, dies in my throat. I see. She takes a sip of her tea. I haven't touched mine since I've noticed that cursed book. I want to run away. Suddenly, she swivels around in her chair with a triumphant laugh. Of course my vampire senses were right. Except, you're not a vampire. They don't exist. I noticed it carried the same subtle floral scent. Can I have it back now? You treasure this scrapbook, don't you? I have no idea what she's planning, and the tension is getting on my nerves. Did she look inside or not? But asking that would be the same as admitting that I have something to hide. It's better to act nonchalant. And that means, if you really want it back, you'll do anything Nope. But you'll at least hear me out? She's so cute. I can't help but sigh. I know I'll regret it. The art here is... maybe... was this after Shark Song? Because I feel like the art is cleaner here. Maybe it is. Or maybe Shark Song was more hastily done. Who knows? I don't. That's the answer. I don't. Maybe. Excellent. There's a couple of mysteries that were bothering me for a while. She leans forward, rests her chin on one hand, observing me. I don't like being observed. It's very awkward. I'm a very awkward person. Enid, we've known each other for more than 15 years, is that right? That's true. Ever since her parents have taken me in when I was little, I've been by her side. We were always together, even went to the same school so I could keep an eye on her. As the, noble undead, I rarely venture outside. Our kind has always shunned humans, feeling little need for companionship. That's shut in, not undead, because you are not a vampire, apparently. Still, you've been my stalwart protector, my faithful assistant, my... Get to the point. She leans even further forward, her eyes very close to mine, her face very close to mine, looking in her deep eyes. I'm about to swoon. Her shampoo smells nice. I've been pondering it for a long time now, and you could have gone anywhere and become anyone, yet you chose to live here, serving as my personal maid. Doesn't my unnatural state scare you? Why exactly are you always with me? Oh no, I work here for the money. She's still looking at me expectantly. I live here? You know, it's really peculiar how easily you bear my vampiric gaze. That's because you're not a vampire, you idiot. Finally, she sits back down. I breathe a sigh of relief. Almost spilled all my secrets there for a sec. Anyway, how about a game? The bet being your scrapbook. Whoever gets it, or whoever wins, gets to keep it. But did you look inside or not? I have to keep my cool. I pick up my cup, making sure it doesn't rattle against the saucer. It gives me a convenient excuse not to look at her, but I can still feel I'm being observed. Fine, what are we playing? Chess? Nothing so boring. Let's play Why Done It. Why what now? Not a who done it, a why done it? The rules are simple. I describe a crime scene and propose a motive that a culprit might have. If you think the reason was different, you have to prove it. Seems harmless enough. And what if I agree with your suggested motive? Why are you smiling like that? Then, shall we begin? Let's raise the curtain on the mystery of a certain girl's heart. We're being caught red-handed! Whoa, my eyes. The vampiric eyes of mine can't handle. For a moment, we're both silent. She seems to be deep in thought, and I keep glancing at the scrapbook in front of her. When she finally speaks, the sound almost makes me jump. Let us imagine a schoolyard. Actually, we don't have to imagine. I've recreated the whole scene here. Let's see what the image is. Give me a sec. It takes me a moment of confused squinting to figure out what it's supposed to represent. So, two sad people. If someone beats someone up. A sea monster appears. And then this person proposes to this person. And then I feel my stomach dropped, as if I missed a step going down the stairs. Does this remind you of anything? Never. Of course it does. It's one of those few cases that I came dangerously close to being exposed. What was I even thinking back then? No, I wasn't thinking at all, and just followed my anger. Then allow me to explain. Like I said, a schoolyard. An early afternoon in spring. Unlike today, the sky was overcast. That's why I dared to go out. It's a simple enough story. Girl A unwisely ventures outside where she's being confronted by bullies. They mock her and throw her belongings into a nearby pond. Shockingly barbaric behavior, but something I came to expect from humans. Of course, they wouldn't expect me, a vampire, excuse me, I'm a little flubbing on my words. It's something a noble vampire like me wouldn't expect. I have the power of foresight. Of course, you'd attract negative attention if you keep that stupid vampire up at school. I've tried to make her understand many times, but it's like talking to a wall. And it would have ended just like that, with Girlie standing there at a pond, or at a loss, and her school bag sinking slowly to the bottom of a muddy pond, if not for the sudden arrival of her culprit. No, rather than culprit, Let's call her the hero. It takes all my self-control not to flinch. Usually reticent and standoffish, the hero prefers to keep her distance from her peers. She treats even Girl A, a person that's closest to her, rather coldly. Why is there karate class, though, is my question. But today, for some reason, like a force of vengeance, the hero falls upon the bullies. It's quite frightening, actually. And after scaring them off, oh, that's her jumping in. As if that wasn't enough, she dives right into the water. Dives? Feels very shallow. And valiantly rescues Girl A's belongings, heedless of getting drenched up to her waist. What a hero. It's a wonder she didn't catch a cold afterwards. What an idiot. Idiots don't catch colds. I guess it was naive to hope she'd forgotten the last part. In the final crowning moment, the hero brings Girl A her bag and she pauses with her eyes closed. I don't want to hear it. And then she says, clear as day, sorry about that. Don't let it get to you. I try to take a deep, calming breaths without moving. It's harder than it seems. So, what's your point? The hero's motive is simple. She has a crush on Girl A and helps her because of that. There's no other explanation for such an uncharacteristic act. There, she finally said it. Now that I know her aim, I know how to fight back. And what are you basing this on? Why, the evidence. Everything is pretty clear, is it not? Are you sure? Absolutely certain? If you disagree, you're free to offer your own interpretation. That's the point of the game. So if I prove the hero, had different motives, I win? And you'll accept my solution? Of course, as long as you have evidence. I'm a servant of truth, after all. I'm a detective and a vampire. Vampires can't lie. So it's not enough to come up with a lie. I have to figure out a way to interpret the facts to fit my version of the events. No matter, I won't be defeated. Not with my dignity at stake. Then I'll prove it to you. I'll prove that the hero is definitely not in love with Girl A. Judging by her expression, she seems pretty confident that I'll fail. How naive. I'm a virtuoso at lying. If you're worried that there are any details missing on the drawing, don't be. Everything's been recreated perfectly. Vampires have perfect memory. I'm quite proud of my drawing skills too, by the way. They are pretty... I'll give them a good, better than me, honestly, better than me. I guess this blind confidence is one of her charm points. Not that I like her or anything. I'm not worried. There's plenty of information to support my case. Let us begin. Are you ready? The main issue is that she's, of course, right about everything. I am in love with her. It's been like that for years. If I had confessed right away instead of letting this build up, well, now I have no choice. I suffer enough already just knowing how pathetic I am, so letting her know it for a fact would be a killing blow. My pride will never recover. But what about my love? It's unthinkable to let anyone, even her, have such an advantage over me. Instead of a outright lie, it's always better to just tell a different truth. For my false scenario to be convincing, I'll have to make sure all events are backed by evidence. I know I can do it. Let's go through my accusation again, line by line. If you find yourself disagreeing with what I say or have any questions, let me know. Girl A has an encounter with bullies and gets her bag stolen. And who's on the left? Oh, she was the reason. Girl A was outside. This girl was crying and she went up to her to ask her what's wrong. Turns out her romantic confession was rejected and there was nothing to be done. But before Girl A could return, she was noticed. If the hero was in love with her, would she have stopped that situation from happening in the first place? She's not omniscient. and it was rare for Girl A to be outside at this hour. Anything else? No. Go on. The hero appears and drives the attacker's way. What a terrifying expression of pure rage, and her hair is, unusually messy. Clearly, she is in love with Girl A and is protecting her. What other reason could she have? Here's my chance. The hero attacked the bullies because... she was practicing martial arts, karate class. There was a martial arts club nearby. She was just attending a lesson and leapt at the chance to practice what she learned. It's true that there was a club billboard right there, but her fighting style doesn't look like any martial arts I'm familiar with. It's a secret type, you wouldn't know. However, that wasn't the end of it. Let's move on to the next scene. By the way, what was that on her sleeve? It was a library committee armband. Oh, that. I joined only because it seemed like the least amount of trouble. Also, Olivia was at the library all of the time. And what was inside the bag? Textbooks and some borrowed novels. Thankfully, they didn't get too waterlogged. In any case, she jumped in the pond on a fairly chilly spring day to get Girl A's bag out of the water. It's obvious she wanted to impress her crush. I'm not that vain. It just happened in the heat of the moment. I should continue. She jumped into the pond because... she tried to cool her fist with burning fist of fury. She needed something from Girl A's bag. We were on the library committee. Enid was in the library committee. We need to protect the books. The books? Yes? As a member of the library committee, she was concerned about the books. She couldn't let them get ruined. See, it wasn't about Girl A at all. So that's how it was. Here's the hard part. If I can't refute this one, nothing will help me. And now for the final scene. The hero hands Girl A her things. Tries to cheer her up. And you're certain that the expression is accurate? Oh, I am. Blushing in a side glance. Actually, it became one of my most treasured. That's enough, thank you. However you might try to interpret it differently, it's crystal clear that she was kind to Girl A because she's in love. I must stress how unusual this behavior was. I mean, Girl A couldn't believe she was hearing such gentle words out of the hero. And I can't believe I lost my composure like that. I really should have known better. Still, there must be a way out of this. She said that because... what did she say again? Don't worry about it, it was nothing. She was grateful for a chance to practice... She was grateful for a chance to practice her new move. If not for Girl A, she wouldn't have been able to practice right away. She was simply expressing her gratitude. Still following that martial arts angle. But then why apologize? I apologized for the books, you fool. She looks a little shaken. That makes me feel a little guilty. But I wouldn't have to resort to this if she didn't pressure me in the first place. You seem to have an explanation for everything. Of course, I'm excellent at weaving elegant falsehoods after all. I bet I could become a criminal mastermind if I put my mind to it. Bet? Criminal arc, let's go! Most of what you said makes sense, but still. Are you that bad at admitting defeat? No, as I said, I'll accept the truth no matter what it is. I think I'm the one that's bad at admitting defeat. Maybe my intuition isn't as sharp as I thought. Now I have to rethink some things. That's it, I'm safe. Now to get back to the scrapbook and return to my peaceful life. Just as I reach for it, she grabs my hand. Not yet. There's still something else I want to clear up. She rummages in the drawer for a while before setting down something heavy on the desk, smiling like she regained her confidence. It's a huge and intimidatingly thick folder. I have a feeling of foreboding. It's time for a more direct approach. I've been gathering data for some time. What kind of data? I wouldn't dance around the issue. There's something I must reveal. Our game was all about you from the start. I apologize for the deception. It wasn't that hard to figure out, though, was it? Yes, I figured that out. Years of careful observation have led me to this conclusion. And you like me, don't you? No, it's just an underhanded move. I won't let it rattle me. But what if I did? You're accusing me of something like that without any proof? There, now the tables have turned. It should be impossible to prove that someone is in love with you, right? Careful. Your face will split in two if your smile gets any wider. She leaves through the folder. From cover to cover, it's filled with sheets of paper, post-it notes, even photographs and newspaper clippings. It's making me uneasy. What is that exactly? My evidence. I call it the chronicle of all the times Enid has been nice to me. Oop. A slip of paper falls out. I pick it up. It's a tomato soup recipe. Some things must have gotten mixed in. Oh, now I get it. So this is just an intimidation tactic. Of course there's no way I'd leave so much evidence behind. I hope. I'm not sure what you're trying to do, but if you have any further accusations, I'm all ears. She flips through the pages seemingly at random, her eyes never leaving my face. Let's begin with... here. June 1st, afternoon, after my birthday party. Enid composes a 30-verse poem in my honor. Holy... Well, any explanation for that? It was a competition suggested by your dad, remember? The goal was to give you the best compliment. Naturally, I just wanted the prize, so I played to win. Not that there were many participants. I guess that's possible. Then how about... Oh, late October that same year. When I was sick with a cold, you stayed up all week. So you could always hear in case I call. The bags under your eyes were impressive. But really, you shouldn't have worried. I'm a vampire after all. A simple cold is nothing. I was just testing if sleep deprivation really boosts your mood. And also, you're not a vampire. Did it work? Nope. As expected. How about this one? August last year, while we were on a trip, Annie carried all the luggage to the hotel on her own, never letting me touch anything. I don't even have a lie for this one. I was your maid. Done. It's because you're terribly clumsy. But I have vampire super strength. I could have helped you. Any more groundless claims? January 25th? Oh, my vampire eyes! It's because I hate this color. Was seen running around the city, asking in every bookshop. Claimed to have bought it, despite the evidence that she cooked it herself. Took my place to save me the embarrassment of public speaking. Oh god, this took 2 hours? I would have fallen asleep even if it was this situation. My dress was draped on the chair, and on top of it was a wig that looked suspiciously like my hair. And that makes you think I was rehearsing a love confession? It was a bait for assassins. The light seeping through the curtain has changed in color and intensity. It must be sunset. I feel like I've run a marathon in a hilly countryside. My throat is dry. Olivia is biting her lip, still flipping through her folder, but to my relief, she doesn't seem to find anything more. Really, she documented every day we've spent together. I don't know if I should be flattered or concerned. I admit, it makes me just a little bit happy. Whatever, I'm glad it's over. Are we done? Can I go now? I have maidly duties to get to. But it won't be a lie this time to say I really need a bathroom break. Wait, there ought to be something I've missed. I've wasted enough time today. If you don't have anything else, I've got it! I've already half risen from the chair, but at the sight of her expression, I have to sit back down. I can never say no to her. She's just bluffing, surely. Olivia stands up and moves in front of her desk, looking down at me. I can't believe I overlooked something so obvious. What is it now? And all these years, you're the only one that never mocked me for who I am. Even my parents would be dismissive, saying things like, "Why on earth would you pretend to be a vampire?" and "Don't be silly, garlic is harmless," and so on. Only you never doubted my words. I know I can trust you more than... That's it? As I thought you were bluffing. I'm not even going to bother overturning this sham of an argument. Bring the scrapbook later to my room. I stretch leisurely, get up, and head for the door. What a waste of the afternoon. Unlike you, I have things to do, so don't ask. I've looked inside. It's the moment. Oh no. We've been caught. I stand frozen in place with my hand on the doorknob. The scrapbook, which you've admitted is yours, I've seen what's in it. How do you explain its contents? My thoughts are jumbled, leaving nothing but static noise in my head. I don't know what else to say. With each passing second, the believability of whatever answer could give shrinks more and more. Soon, anything will sound like a helpless excuse. Just admit it! It's not worth the stress! It's all over then? A masterful liar can't come up with anything and loses after all? And are you listening? A vampire. I didn't quite catch. It's because you're a vampire. You unconsciously used your powers to make me fall in love with you. Oh my god. It's been going on forever now. I can't help to feel the way I do. All because of your powers. Why are we playing the blame game? Why can't you just admit it? And the worst thing you can do when lying is to get defensive, flustered, and give too many details. I know this, but I can't stop. The words are just spilling out. I can't fight it. You've got me completely under your spell. I don't even have the will of my own anymore. All I think about is you. I have the weirdest feeling of finality. A chilling kind of knowledge. A realization that a door is closed forever. That's why I did all the things I listed, and that's why I have the scrapbook. It's all because you're a vampire. Even a child could come up with a better lie. I don't want to turn back and look at her. I don't want to see the smug expression she's wearing. I'd run away if my legs didn't refuse to move. A sound of ruffled fabric, followed by the clatter of a window being opened. As I turn around, the room's filled with brilliant, golden light. It's very white, and my eyes are blinded once again. What are you doing? She's halfway out the window before I catch her. Let me go! Idiot, it's the 5th floor. I deserve to be turned to ash for what I did. Don't tell me. Oh my god, she actually believes it. She's kicking quite hard, but I wrap my arms even tighter around her waist. If I die, you'll be free. Can't you see this is the only way to release you? I have to let the sun burn me to a crisp. What the hell are you going on about? Stop squirming. Thankfully, with my superior strength from karate classes, I managed to drag her away from the window, but she's still clinging to the curtains. Enid, I command you to let me go. Not happening. Please, Enid, I'm a monster. Even if I didn't mean to, I've hurt the person I love the most. Since I don't know how to lift the enchantment, I'll have to take the next most logical step. I'll give you your free will back. She makes a lunge for the window. I pull her back, and we both stumble to the floor. Come on! Can't you feel that sunlight won't harm you? So it's not enough. A bath of colloidal silver? Won't do anything. But I lied. Of course you're not a vampire. Don't you remember? Remember what? Flashback! When we were little, there was a rumor going on about how monsters are kidnapping children to get in their lairs. I was an idiot, so of course I believed it and got so scared I couldn't sleep. You know what? It's a secret, but I'm actually an ancient vampire. A vampire queen. You're making this up. I absolutely am not. When you can't see, I fly around as a bat at night. And of course, all the other monsters are my servants, so I'll order them to never bother you. That's so sweet! Ah! And you've kept up that pretend play for years, even after I grew up and no longer believed in such nonsense. Ah. Oh, that happened. I completely forgot. Did you? But if I'm not, then why? Because I can't help it. If you learned how much I love you and thought it was disgusting, or mocked me, or even made fun of me just a little, I'd never be able to live with it. My tiny heart would crumple into pieces. Before her parents could take me in, I was just a neglected orphan. The world had no place for someone like me. When I met Olivia and her family, I made an unexpected discovery. Kind and warm people really do exist. But there was something I couldn't reconcile. Accepting this kindness, wouldn't it put me at their mercy? I don't ever want to become so weak as to rely on others' goodwill for my happiness. It can disappear in an instant, and when it does, how would I live then? Yet, never put off by my terrible personality and harsh words, you were always happy to be with me. There must be something wrong with her, I thought. Often you annoyed me with your bossy attitude or ridiculous fantasies, yet if I was lonely, you stayed by my side. If I was scared, you took my hand. Really, I didn't have a choice but to fall in love. And not because of your supernatural powers. It's because you're so lovable! If I let you go, you won't try anything weird? I won't. The curtains are gently swaying to the breeze. The sun is set, and the room is gradually sinking into darkness. I feel like all my strength has left my body, so I just sit on the floor. You were right about everything. I'm in love with you. I lied that I'm not. So of course I couldn't stand by when anyone tried to mess with you. Of course I had to get you anything you wanted. Of course I had to do something when you were upset. But I could never admit it. You've accepted me with all your heart, and at some point, somehow, this acceptance has become essential for me to continue living. It does sound like a spell, doesn't it? I know everything about you. That you don't like bitter teas, that you're scared of wasps, who isn't, that you can only fall asleep on your side, your every habit, all the stupid little things, and I absolutely, disgustingly adore every single one of them. Just seeing your face first thing every morning cheers me up. How pathetic is that? Somehow I've managed not to cry, so at least I'm spared that indignity. Fragrant breeze brushes my flushed cheek, and a curtain of gold hair obscures my vision. It's the kiss scene! It is the kiss scene! My lips must feel very dry. Please don't do something like this if you don't mean it. But I do mean it. And you know all these things about me, and still, you don't realize how much I love you. It's a mutual love, as if we haven't determined this earlier. That's an expression I've never seen before. Stop staring. But I really feel like I've finally understood everything. I'd make a terrible detective, and I'm truly sorry for not noticing how much you were suffering. To make up for it, I promise from now on, I'll make you share with me everything that bothers you, no matter how much you resist. We love character growth. Do you think she still thinks she's a vampire though? That's my question. She helps me stand up and dusts me off. Oh, but now I really want to know what's in it. What? I'm talking about your scrapbook. Of course I'd never intrude on your privacy. I lied about looking inside. I don't know, man. Maybe she's the detective she always should be. That was a pretty good move. I managed to pin her down with a tackle before she can reach the desk. Ow, come on! What kind of damning evidence could it possibly contain? I'll burn it as soon as I can. I should have done this long ago. Enid, you're squeezing a little hard. As soon as I loosen my grip, she twists her arms free and goes straight for the desk. We always knew she was made to be a detective. Got it! She's holding the scrapbook above her head, out of my reach. But I'm not giving up that easily. As I throw myself forward, my movement causes the rug to slide. Olivia stumbles backwards, hits the windowsill, and instinctively clutches the curtains to regain her balance. The scrapbook makes a perfect arc as it soars through the open window towards the ink-black sky and disappears into the dark. Judging by the distant splash, it's landed in a river. Maybe someone fell into the river, you know? Maybe it's actually that. I have to admit, even after all of this, losing it stings a little bit. Maybe... no. Then it'll forever remain a mystery I couldn't solve. Every detective has one, so that just makes you more legitimate. Yes! Encourage the detective! They can become a detective duo, the compulsive liar and the detective. I don't know if she's a vampire, so... She puts her hand out to her chin and thinks for a moment. Slowly, a smile spreads across her face. I suddenly realize how tired I am. How about a game? I'll try to guess what was so embarrassing about that scrapbook, and you tell me if I'm right. I'm not. Was it a collection of unsent love letters? Pencil drawings of me? Analytical essays of what makes me so amazing? Just a list of things you like about me the most, or... I'm going to bed. But did I guess right? What if... Hey, don't close the door while I'm still talking. Good. 10 out of 10. If we can't lie, we evade. Familiar voice, familiar nonsense. Before I noticed, I've grown so used to it that I don't even want to imagine a different life. I hope it never changes. As for the scrapbook, maybe I'll start a new one. They can create a couple scrapbook. Maybe I'm the genius here. Yes! Knew it! And fill it, page by page, with memories of you. The end. So, I think the biggest plot twist to me is that she's not a vampire. But I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's the vampire detective. Well, to be fair though, the maid in the end wasn't lying. So this is just a scam title. But yeah, that was the vampire detective and the case of the lying maid. Pretty cute, honestly. Pretty fun. So yeah, that is the end. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.